How it's going to develop is actually still open. Of course, we've got some ideas and some rough outlines, but one of the nice things also is we want to develop it in line with the viewers, getting feedback from the viewers, seeing what they like, and together grow into a certain format of doing things. And that's actually going to be quite exciting. I've done presentations before, but always to, let's say, to a live audience, like we have here. That's maybe not the right word, but an audience I could clearly see and look in eye and interact with. So this is going to be quite new. There's going to be lots of people there on the other side, but I know they're there, but I'm not going to see them directly. So that's going to take some adjusting and getting used to it. I look forward to that. It's a nice challenge, but yeah, it's going to be different. In a way, you're talking to one eye rather than a whole room of eyes. But
and also to people that to some extent or another know you. You know, already you've been here a while, and we're not going to go into the whole thing of it, but it's I'm certainly, and I've said so before, interested to see what comes out of it, just from a learning point of view. Just I've seen the way you approach things, and I'm sure all of you have noticed also just on the drive the different inserts and some of the words that are popping up, and Piet's really been doing a lot of things on a lot of different levels, running around, and it's been a pleasure from that point of view. But so I'm looking forward to seeing what you're doing with that as well, because you're mixing in a whole lot of nice aspects into it, and of course still running live, so there's still the possibility of the bird you're talking about landing at the waterhole while you're doing it.
Yeah, so, that would be something.
So I mean, there's a grey lurry today, and you know, suddenly, and it's nice what that'll create as well in camp even. You know, we'll start talking a bit more about whatever things you're looking at and so on. So it's just any awareness that makes you look around more and pay more attention and enjoy more is a cool thing. So and I've kept up with it, but it's moving. But it's tomorrow is the first one, huh?
Yeah. Eventually we're looking to have it, let's say, on a more frequent level, but we're going to start with 2 or 3 times a week. Also because we need to get into it and find a format, and there's quite a lot of research involved as well in preparing for it. At some point they'll also go faster and other things. I don't know if the viewers can hear it, but that's a fiery-necked nightjar calling now. It's probably too soft. There was one at the waterhole earlier as well. I hope you guys could hear it, because we mentioned it yesterday on the drive. So, and I lost my train of thought a little bit.
Firing Nightjar and lurries.
We're going to focus on there's a lot of things, and some programs at some point maybe might also go a little bit into a scientific sense. It's going to be quite light, but I'm most fascinated by little things like how can a gecko walk upside down on a ceiling and things like that. And actually the facts behind it are quite fascinating. So also we might do specials at some point, focusing on things like that. But in general, it will be a light-hearted, hopefully interactive.
Like you might ask, how did the gecko come to have a ceiling?
Like that. Yeah, that might also be a question that comes in. So
no, definitely, and just having gotten to know you more as well, and I know you guys are also getting to know Piet more, but I'm certain it's going to be interesting just with how you approach it and the interest you have. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
Nice one. And otherwise. Sorry, I'm just looking at you, and you're looking more bushified every time we sit around the fire. You know. I mean, it's still nice to see you enjoying it as well, Piet, just with everything. I mean, you're running around and you're busy, and it's already been noticing what's going on. It's very cool. Yeah. Cool. Nice. So tomorrow's
the first
lurries
one. And tomorrow, it's not specifically about a bird, but it's going to be more about how to identify a bird. There's a couple of things that you can. I don't want to go into too much because then I don't have to do the show. But it's how you look at a bird and how you can learn to identify it, even if you can see the whole bird and all its colors and other things for 4 or 5 minutes, because that's typically you don't have that luxury. You see a bird and it goes off. But with time and experience, you get to know what to look for and get some knowledge, and then you can already, maybe not to species level, but you can at least find out what kind of bird it is. And so I'm going to speak a little bit about that, and then I'm going to use a couple of birds as example of how you can recognize certain features of birds. Tomorrow the bird I'm going to use as examples are bateleur, which is a big bird of prey, the grey lurry or go-away bird. Rexon spoke a bit about that one in the drive already today. Lilac-breasted roller, and the fourth one is
you do say that quite nicely, eh?
The
lilac-breasted roller. Just with your, sorry, I'm not taking a dig. I'm just saying with your accent, it sounds awesome.
Oh, okay, cool. And the Cape turtle dove. All these animals you can see on drives and at the waterhole, so they're quite common and also quite different. So it will be nice to point out some differences between them. So I've not completely finished my preparations yet, so I'm going to work on that after the Fireside Chat again, but I'm looking forward to tomorrow and just seeing how it goes.
We're going to eat wors after the Fireside Chat.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's become a big part of the tradition.
Wait for that.
You know, you said just now, sir, and I'm maybe talking too long. We're going to get Herman in just now, but when we sat down, he said that the days start merging into each other, and it really is. It's not uncommon for me to realize sometimes towards sunset only that I've got the day wrong by 1 or 2. But Sunday certainly always, at least now we know it's Sunday because we come and sit around the fire, and we also know for a fact that we can have coals later on. So it is also a nice tradition, both in having you here with us, but also just for camp. It's everyone in camp knows that Sunday evenings is going to be a bit of a fire, and we're going to talk a little bit with everyone, and then and also just talk a little bit more. Yeah, we'll talk about your presentation.
All right, cool.
Nice one, man. Herman, I'm sure, is on his way out here. Peter, can I steal some of your water? I brought water here for everyone,
sure.
But I drank mine way faster. And grabbed some of the way out.
It's quite dry today.
Yeah, no, that's the other thing as well. Summer has certainly arrived. It's getting warmer every day.
All right, I'll hand over the mic to Herman.
The mic.
How's it, Peter?
How's it, Herman?
Cool, man. Rustig.
Yeah, no, it's sorry, just for that chuckle where it comes from is I still sometimes play with the name Herman and Herman. It's one of those accent things. It's the same as my name, traditionally pronounced Peter, which is quite tricky to get the tongue around for a lot of people. So it's funny how the names change slightly. But yeah, so welcome on the fire, Herman.
Shut.
It's been an interesting week for you as well. I know there's a few things we're going to talk about now, but like I said, we're going to talk about your bits. I don't know if you want to explain that maybe, but you've certainly been digging into it, which is nice.
I must maybe start off just by explaining what bits means.
Yeah.
It's basically, this is how Graham explained it to me. It's the B and the T and the S is for behind the scenes, and the small I, that's not a capital. The B and the T and the S is capitals, but the small I isn't. I think that's for internet. I don't exactly know what the small I is for.
Which is what it's doing. But I mean, you've been excited about the process of it and the storytelling, and it's been interesting just to see you sort of get to know and feel your way around it as well. I mean, like Marco, I don't know, Marco, I hope you're still watching with us. Marco started that to a large extent, and you saw Marco in your early days here, but it's nice to see the different progression as well with different individuals. So tell us a bit about it. Why did you do what you did this week?
Yeah, well, I'll get to that just now, about the subject I had this week. But just the whole thing of trying to make it your own, trying to show things through your eyes is a very interesting process. Because immediately what happens is I'm with a lot of things that happen in camp, try and film that, and then try and get something from that and try and make a story out of it. So that's very interesting. So it forces me to be busy with a lot of things that happens in camp. This week's bits is about Peter's Pond, which is a very interesting place to start off with. It's very close to camp, and it's a small little pond. Peter can maybe actually explain it quite well on the bits, so you can.
I'm not going to explain it too much now. I must say I've chuckled about the name a few times. Rexon actually started using the name, and I know there's a Pete's Pond as well in Botswana. Actually, we got a handwritten note the other day from someone there that got passed along with a guest that was traveling this way, which was awesome. But yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about it now, but it's very close. Soon when summer comes along, we were just saying it's getting warmer and hotter, and guys in the pool more already, I see, and it's just that everyone's getting more colour and so on. It is just with the pond, it's going to be fantastic with frogs and all the insect life around as well. So it's just a small pond back here. But that's the mic is dropped. Thanks, Pete.
Yeah, what makes it Peter's Pond very interesting to me is because of all the small creatures that's around there, and every now and then you get quite a big surprise as well. Big creatures, big surprise, big creatures. Which was, I had an amazing week. I spent a lot of time down there. It's very nice because you're, as Peter explains it as well, you're far away from camp to let all the noise and stuff stay behind, but you're close enough if someone really needs you, or if you really need it, that they can call you. So I think it's a very special place, and it's going to become even there's going to be more and more animals as we get more and more rain and stuff like that.
That's when you become a busy place, and I was just thinking about two things at the same time. One is that we didn't mention much of it, but there's also going to be, along with the... It's not working. I'm just telling you, I'm just going to sound.
Yeah, Peter's sound at the moment is having a bit of a problem, but I think we'll be able to sort that out quite soon. Yeah, just to talk a little bit more about the bits in Peter's pond. I did the subject for this week's behind the scenes was Peter's pond, and well, basically it consists out of Peter just introducing it and exactly telling us how he built it, because he actually built it while he was on leave, or was supposed to be on leave, but decided to stick around. So yeah, it's got a very interesting story, but I don't want to tell all of it now, otherwise no one's going to watch the bits. You're more than welcome.
Can you hear me? Pete, how did that sound?